a great big hand.
Actually, most of my students are just hoping for extra credit. So tomorrow they're going to find out I was just kidding.
No, that's rude.
Let me... Okay, before I get going, I just wanted to talk about a couple things real quick. All this stuff out here, you heard us talking about a little bit earlier. We're going to try to get going a performing arts club in the fall. And the whole purpose today is we're recording it in a couple different formats with the idea of rather than myself, a professor, coming out and performing for these types of events, students should be doing this, not professors. So Sonia has no idea how to find talented students because they're all over the place. There's no central location to go to. So if we get the Performing Arts Club rolling, then the idea then would be they could go to somebody, we could set up some students that come perform with the idea of recording all of their performances so they can start a digital portfolio. So that's just part of it. That's why all this stuff is set in here. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to play some stuff for you today. And I want to give you a little bit of background. I started playing guitar when I was in 6th grade. I played through high school, played a couple different bands and so forth. And then when I went in the military, when I was 17, basically my guitar went in the closet. That's where it sat for, 32 years. I pulled it out, dusted it off every now and then, but never replayed. About 6 years ago, I started playing a little more serious again, got it out and started going at it again. And when I was on YouTube, I saw this guy for the first time by the name of Tommy Emmanuel. Anybody know who Tommy Emmanuel is? Probably not. He's arguably the world's greatest acoustic guitar player. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. And I saw him playing, I thought, you know what? If I grow up someday, that's what I want to be like. So I started studying his techniques. And I've actually had the opportunity to meet him. I've sat down with him on 3 different occasions just to talk to him about his process and his approach to music, his process of composing, what goes through his head. And that led me to what I'm going to talk about today. The whole idea, and this is Tommy's idea, not mine, I can't take credit for it, is to play guitar, not like it was a guitar, but play it like it was a piano. And that may sound weird, and the first time I heard Tommy say it, I thought he was on drugs or something, didn't make any sense at all. But once I started talking to him, I started listening to his music, it makes absolute, total sense. So just to give you a really quick idea what I'm talking about, when you play guitar, I need both hands to make one note. So I got a hand here, and I have to pluck the string. So I need 2 hands just to get one note. But think about a piano. A piano player, they definitely have one up on guitar players. Because over here they got their right hand doing one thing, and their left hand doing another. Well, you can't do that on a guitar because you need them to work together. All right? But Tommy came up with this, what he calls playing it like a piano. And I'll give you the idea. So think of the piano going dun, 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 dun. Here's your right hand on piano. And then here comes your left hand. See what I'm saying? 2 different things going on there. Now, Tommy refers to that, the idea of playing it like it was a piano, because you got 2 things going on. I think of it more in terms of split personalities. All right, you know, if you're diagnosed with split personality, you go see a doc, they give you medication or counseling and try to control it. But as an instrumentalist, I try to encourage as many split personalities as I can. As an example, when I play, I always take my bass guy with me. So here's my bass guy. Now, personally, I like playing rhythm. So once my bass guy gets going, I jump in and start playing rhythm. And then the lead guy comes in. Now, I don't know if you guys ever played in a band, but lead guitarists are a pain in the butt to work with, man. Their attitudes are like this. They want to be the focus of everything. They're probably second only to a vocalist. And thank God I don't sing, because that's one personality I would not bear to deal with. All right, so I have a lead guitarist, and he jumps in every now and then, too. So I get the bass going. Then I'll jump in. Then the lead guy will jump in. you're listening there, you should be able to hear three distinct personalities going at it. I got the bass guy, the lead guy, and the rhythm. Now, I also play with the percussionist there and on. The percussion's pretty cool. So, something like this. So I got the rhythm going, the percussionist's already there, got the bass guy going. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the lead guy to come along. So now I got four personalities going. And I can only deal with four. Any more than that, I can't deal with that. So in studying Tommy stuff, it led me right away to Chet Atkins. I mean, I knew of Chet Atkins when I was a kid, but not much. Chet Atkins was just, I think, probably the greatest guitar player that ever lived. He really opened up the door to finger picking. I'm a finger picker. If you give me a regular pick, I wouldn't know what to do with it. All right, I need to use all these guys. And I play a song, Chet Atkins. I'd actually bought this off an album last November, one of Chet's albums, and the song Daydream was on there. And I'm thinking, you know what, I wonder if that's the same Daydream that I used to love as a kid when I was in high school. It's by the Lovin' Spoonful, which most of you probably have no idea who the guys are. But my older brother had the album The Best of a Lovin' Spoonful. I used to always borrow that album and play it. And, of course, it got a big old rip in it. I think my younger brother did it, even though I got beat up for it. I think he's the one that did it. But sure enough, I got that album, and it was an instrumental version of that song that I like so much. So this is, I just worked this out about a week ago, and I'm still actually working on it. But this is a Daydream based on Chet Atkins' version of it. And again, if you're listening, hear at least 2 or 3 personalities in this same song. Again, if you listen to that, you can hear multiple personalities going on in there. That's what takes a single guitar and makes it a little bit more interesting to listen to, because you got your rhythm going on, you've got the lead going on in the background, and you got that. Well, Chet Atkins and Tommy Manuel are very famous for those constant moving bass lines. So really, it's like having 3 or 4 instruments going at once. I'll play another song for you here. This is another Chet Atkins song, which uses the exact same idea in a slightly toned down way. Back in the early 90s, Chet was doing a lot of jazz stuff. really jazzy type stuff, really nice stuff. But he wanted to get back to his country roots, basically. So he asked John D. Loudermilk to write him a song that acted as a segue. He wanted something a little country, a little jazzy, a little sexy, a little something to get back to the countryside. And John wrote him a song called Windy and Warm, which has, I think, all that in there. And it goes like this. So that's Windy and Warm. That's what Chet Atkins won a lot of awards on that one. Now, that same idea can be used in a much more mellow way. And this is actually a song that Nat King Cole did called Mona Lisa. And it's based on a Chet Atkins, a Tommy Emmanuel arrangement of it. I think it's a really cool arrangement. And again, it uses that same idea, but a very, very mellow, not as in your face as some of the moving bass line. It's not quite as obvious, but still, it's still there. If you listen, you can hear at least two personalities going on most of the time. Mona Lisa. You guys probably don't recognize that, do you? Anybody recognize that? The old guys do, yeah. Okay, I'm going to do this medley. It's based on a Tommy Emmanuel arrangement. It's a Beatles medley, and it, big time, throughout this thing, has the whole idea of playing like a piano. It's got the right hand doing something, the left hand doing something. Like I said, I think of it more as multiple personalities. I have to think differently on everything that I'm doing. But this is, hopefully you guys recognize the Beatles, but if not, then oh well. Anyway, this is a nice little Beatles melody. Beatles. So, those are all cover songs based on either Chet Atkins or Tommy Emmanuel. And so the question now for me is, what influence has that had on my composing? And I'm a strong believer that for anybody playing an instrument, if you want to get to the next level, whatever the next level means to you, it doesn't matter what it means to you, but if you want to get to the next level, you need somebody to look up to, or not to imitate. Imitating is a bad idea, but to learn from. And I've been really blessed with two people. I've had the chance to meet Tommy Emmanuel on 3 different occasions. And if you ever get a chance, if you like this kind of music, you go to his concerts, you can actually sign up to do a meet and greet and talk to him before the concert. And he's just an amazing guy to sit down and talk to. It's just absolutely amazing. And the other person I've struck up a really close friendship with, my wife and I met an international performer, amazing singer, songwriter, performer. She's Portuguese from the Azores, been living in Canada, and now she's in Denmark. And actually, she was back in the States a couple weeks ago. Susanna Barbosa, she's with a band called Luminova. They won top honors for top pop song and top pop performance in an International Music Awards in Boston. So we're talking top-notch people here, all the way. And I've been keeping in contact with Susanna. We Skype whenever we can. And, we do the typical thing, how's it family, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then we start talking about music. And the influence that she has had in my composing and the way I think about my music has been equal to that of like Tommy Emmanuel and Chet Atkins. They're the mechanics, and she's kind of the brains behind where I draw my enthusiasm from. So she's working on this program. A young artist will really appreciate this. She's trying to set up an artist residence, basically. So the idea is that young artists can go to this residence, do like a 6-month residency where you live there and work on your craft. And in the meantime, she would be teaching classes on artist sustainability. Because the big thing now is how do you, if you're an artist and you want to go out there and perform and make a living at it, how do you do it when you're waitressing at night when you should be performing? Right? So she's working this program for artist sustainability. And part of this artist residence was actually the influence for this next song I'm going to play for you. Stay with me now because you'll think this is a little bit nuts. But when she was explaining to me what this whole idea behind the artist residency was, at that time I hadn't written anything for probably 6-8 months, close to a year. And the whole idea just struck a chord with me, no pun intended. And it was just such a cool idea that literally I started having these dreams. And this is the first of what I call my dream sequence songs, where I saw myself playing this song in my dream. I'd wake up middle of the night, run down the hall, grab my guitar off of my wall and say, how did I play that chord? What was that? And it was a reoccurring dream. And literally, after about 6 or 8 of these dreams, I was able to figure out the song I was watching myself play. And this is all part of the idea of a residency. So I call this song A Place Like This. Now, what I'm hoping is that my next goal, my big goal, is the next 4 to 5 years to be able to collaborate a song with Susanna. She sings in English, Portuguese, and French. And when I met her, I was playing one of the songs I wrote for her. She started singing in French. And I don't know, she could have been singing, I'm sitting next to Brian, a fat, ugly guy with one eyebrow. I have no idea what she was saying, but it was absolutely gorgeous in French. So I'm hoping that one of these songs will strike a chord with her, and I better collaborate next 4 or 5 years, and we'll produce something good enough to put on one of her albums someday. So that's my big goal in my mid-50s. So anyway, this is A Place Like This, the first song out of my dream sequence, if that made any sense to you. So that's it. Now, to me, what's cool about that song is there's chords in there that I don't even know what they are. But I saw myself playing it in the dream, and literally I read down, I grabbed a piece of paper and said, those were the finger positionings, and I think that's the chord. I have no idea what those chords are. But I like it. So anyway, that's it. I think I'm watching the timer, and that's the time I've been allotted. So hopefully what I hope you take out of this is the whole idea of playing an instrument in a different way. The whole idea of playing it like a piano. Well, somebody asked me today, are you going to put it on your lap and slide? Because, no, it's the attitude. See, I used to think that to be successful as a musician, it was 90% skill, 10% attitude. And most of that 10% attitude was to make you practice to increase that 90% skill. But after talking to people like Tommy Emanuel and sharing all this time with Susanna talking about music, I think it's just the opposite. It's 10% skill, because anybody can work hard to improve the skill, but it's 90% attitude. If you approach the instrument as something that it's not and see what you can get out of it, to me, it's just amazing. I wish I would have started this when I was 20 rather than in my 50s. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Thanks, guys.